the meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. As always, the next item is citizens participation. And I don't see Mark DeSoni, so I'm assuming that we don't have any citizens participation. So we can, basically move to agenda item number 3. And if somebody would like to make a motion to approve, basically the list of food establishments, everything on there contingent to what Raj had spoken about previously regarding all fees and permits being up to date, we can move on that. Ed, you're muted.
I will make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, with the contingency that all permits and fees
right,
have.
Fees are paid, correct.
All right, okay. All right, anybody like, so do you want to just read that list just for, just for sake of doing it? Ed, you vote to approve. Do you know what the list is?
Yeah, hang on, I got to pull it up and change.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you have it
I'm
up?
sorry.
Do you have it up?
I do. I'll read it and
Okay.
you can tell me if it's correct. So approve
Sure.
the list of food establishment, retail food, catering, mobile food, residential kitchen, animal hauler, and installer permit holders for 2023 contingent upon receiving complete permit applications. All right, Ed's going to make that motion.
Correct.
Anybody want to second that?
I second it.
All right, way to go, Bernadette. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right, that's great.
Ron, it
So-
looks like we have a chef McIntosh that joined us. I don't know if that was citizens participation or related to this, but
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know if
sure.
you
We
see.
can. Yeah. Alan, you want to say anything?
Nope, I'm just here for something later in the meeting and observing, part of the Economic Development Committee, so I just want to observe tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, sure. Okay. All right, so then we can move on to agenda item number 4, which would basically be the same thing, but we'll do this for the grease trap waivers. So if anybody would like to make that motion.
yeah, I will, Ron. I'll make a motion
Yep.
to accept the list of grease trap waivers pending what all regulations and permits as presented.
Okay. Raj, and any issues with those that you know of before we actually do this vote?
No, sir. So we have checked it with DPW also and to ask them to, to inform us of any problems or potential problems, and we have not heard anything, so, and with our inspections too, I guess we're good to go,
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, that's great. All right, anybody want to second that motion? Aye. Yeah. Even though I can't hear you, Ed, I
I'll
saw your
second.
hand,
Yeah,
so I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bernadette, you in too? Because I can't see you or hear you. No. All right. So at least put it 3-0, Laura, and I'm assuming Bernadette
Yeah.
is in. We can review that later on.
Okay.
And Jay, you're up with remote access medical update. And thank you for your emails, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I can circle back offline with you about
Okay.
that, Ron, or if
Yeah.
Ed Berman wants to talk about it tonight, that's fine too. But
Sure.
I think that since we met last, the update really, the significant one is related to the fiscal agent. So the Foundation for Metro West, I think I reported in before, had agreed to be the fiscal agent, meaning that they'll hold the money donated for this clinic for us, write checks for us to vendors and whatnot. So they set up that account. And so when Ed Hart, I thought was going to be here to talk a little bit more about this, and that's okay. Ed is drafting a letter to send out to solicit an outreach letter to solicit donations. So that's in the works. But what people will be able to do is go right onto the Foundation for Metro West site, click one of the tabs, a donate tab, and oh, here's Ed here coming on, and they'll be able to make a direct donation to the clinic itself. So I'll give you more information as that kind of develops. Ed Hart, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
How are you?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. I was just giving an update, Ed, on the Foundation for Metro West, how they set up the account for us.
Okay.
We'll hold our donations. And so if you want to add anything, or Ed Berman, to any of the updates. So Ed Hart is our promotions chair for the clinic. And Ed, I was just telling the folks here that you were drafting a letter to solicit donations from the community. And I think that the plan is to kind of start with banks and larger organizations and businesses in the community. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The letters have been drafted, sent out to RAM for approval. As soon as we get approval back, we have plans to start, like Needham Bank is one that we're going to stop at, and a number of other areas and businesses that have philanthropy, histories of philanthropy in our community. And we have great hopes for a success of this endeavor.
Can you also think about social media platforms?
You know, the RAM is very particular about us starting our own, like say, Facebook page for this clinic. They prefer to advertise through their own RAM Facebook, but we can use our social media. For example, the town manager's newsletter. Laura did a real nice flyer and included it in that. And we also talked to Beth about her putting it out on the business newsletter also in town. And I'm also talking to a lot of area, in the process of beginning to discuss with area newspapers for some type of free advertisements. So get the word out.
yeah, thanks, Ed. And Laura, thank you very much. And thanks for reminding me of that, Ed. I thought that right up in the town manager's newsletter was wonderful. Just
Excellent.
so well worded. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ed Berman, you want to add anything?
No, we need volunteers. No,
Yeah.
really, if you know, I know people sometimes watch this on our cable stations too, but anybody that is a healthcare professional or anybody that's interested in volunteering this upcoming summer, if they could please go to the Remote Area Medical's website and sign up to be a volunteer, we could use all the help we can get.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. And Ron, I think
Yeah.
we can talk to you more about helping out if you can along the lines of recruitment. So in that
Yeah.
realm. And so you got an email from me. It was setting up a meeting with some doctors from the South Shore
Yeah.
that may be able to help. And I can talk to you later about what the background of all of that. For some reason, I thought that Ed Berman already spoke to you about this. So you're probably thinking,
Yeah.
where did this email come from? So, so I can give you more information about that. But the long and the short of it is that anybody that can help us recruit other medical professionals at this point those are valuable people. So,
Okay. We'll see what I can do. I know I can get some of us. I'll see what I can do with other professionals as well.
okay. Maybe
Yeah.
what we can do is, so Ed Berman and I will probably meet with the RAM volunteer coordinator over the next few weeks after the holidays, and we'll come up with a recruitment plan. And then we can loop you into that and let you know how you might be able to help us out with
Okay.
that. And then in the meantime, that meeting that I set up with the doctors from the South Shore, I think that is January 9th. I'll send you another email and give you a little bit of background, or we can set up a phone call and talk about that.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
But no
Perfect.
pressure if you can't make it. I just figured
No,
I'd make sure everybody's-
no, I mean, if it's during the day, I'll just schedule myself out so I can help out. I got to know what's going on. So
Yep.
I'll make it work.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Great. Ed Hart, are you good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you going to stay? You probably have better things to do. You want to hang out for a while though?
You know, it's like it's like a stab from the past. I think I'm going to hang around and see how things
Okay,
work.
you're more than welcome, and thanks for helping these guys out and us as well. It's a nice thing
Sure.
that you're doing. I know you've been intimately involved with the Board of Health and with helping us out with all the pesticides and chemicals, and
Yep.
that huge book you wrote is a huge service to the community, and you put a lot of effort in, and just wanted
Thank
people to know that, and amassing that amount of information, I couldn't even imagine how much time that took. That is like War and Peace 3 times over. So
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you again for all that you do, and Ed Berman, that goes for you, and of course Jay, thank you so much for all your effort in this. It's not an easy thing to bring together. You guys are all doing a great job, and it's a lot of work. So
Thanks, Rob.
all right, so this could actually be a relatively quick meeting. Moving on to the consent agenda. Anybody want to approve A and B, which is the review and approve the Board of Health minutes for November 15th and the year-to-date budget report for fiscal year 2023? Anybody want to make a motion to approve that?
Yeah, I will make the motion to approve the consent agenda, the Board of Health meeting minutes for November 15th and the year-to-date budget report for fiscal year 2023.
Great. Second?
I will second it.
Okay, Ed will second it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, great. So Raj, you're up with the health director's agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And I will get you my license tomorrow.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll scan it and send it to you. Okay.
Thank you. So with the childhood vaccine clinic, it's going on great. We've been getting requests from so many different communities now, but there is a hiccup. So our public health nurse through the shared services, she have actually resigned from the shared services, Jessica. So she's working only for Ashland right now, So we will see moving forward how many of the childhood vaccines we can do given the capacities we have currently. The matter with the shared services, right, have 3 open positions, right now for nursing staff, and it's difficult to fill. We are not finding any candidates. There is 1 full-time position and 2 part-time positions there. I've been working with the town manager's office to increase the hours we have at Ashland from 5. I have some positive communication going on. So hopefully we'll have more hours for Jessica to keep the work going, or if the shared services hire somebody, we can use those resources. So for right now, it's kind of we'll try our best, whatever vaccines we can do, for the kids. COVID-19 last couple of weeks, as you guys also might have seen, we have seen the spike in number of cases. Definitely from the holidays for Thanksgiving, and around 2, it's numbers are a little higher. We are seeing some cases coming through. We do have the testing kits available for the residents. We are distributing that. It's out on our social media. We are getting a lot of people, at least 5-7 people every day coming and getting the kits. With the flu vaccine, I guess past couple of months, we have done 5-6 clinics, right now, we have limited doses of flu. I guess I have 5 or 6 doses, if somebody still wants, we can do that, Regarding the tobacco control manager, that's another thing, So Olivia, our tobacco control manager from the Metro West Tobacco Control District, have actually resigned from her post in Framingham. Right now, all of our tobacco vendors are in compliance, and we have done our compliance checks. They probably will be hiring somebody for her replacement, but we'll see, how that works. The grant under which Olivia was working is till June 30th, 2023. We are hopeful that we'll get the extension of that grant. But if not, we have our budget and we'll get somebody, in our positions that we used to have in Ashland. I guess for last year or so, we have not used that funds, and we have that, in a revolving account. So we'll get a consultant, or in emergency, I can also do the inspections. Regarding provision trading company, but Mr. Allen is here. I know he's here. I just wanted to update the board, that he made some additions that at my office we was not aware. And initially he have asked us 30 days time, that I have not seen to add a hand wash station in the new provision store that he did an additions. But that request came to us around November 30th, but I have not seen any action so far. So I just wanted to update the board on what was going on. That was my intention to put this on the agenda. So. And Crook and Ya also we have a similar situation. There was an addition in that restaurant that we have closed that operations. For that part of the restaurant in Crook and Ya, it's around over a month now, and they have not gotten in compliance yet. So that portion of the restaurant is closed. And I'm open for any questions if the board have.
Okay, let me just let Alan, did you want to speak regarding the, what Raj had reported?
Yeah, we can very briefly. So we did do an expansion here. We went through all the proper permitting and processing and everything, and it was done correctly. When I sent out an email to all departments asking for final inspection here, Raj came forward and said that he wasn't aware of anything that was being done. He has requested a hand wash sink, which I told him that I will do. It's actually being installed tomorrow morning. I'm doing this to show good faith. It's not, it should not be required. I have emails going back to 2021, and we've had multiple inspections since then where we've been operating just like we have been. So shouldn't be forced to spend $4,000 to put in a hand sink when it's when we've been operating that way. And technically, I shouldn't really have to, but I am, just to comply and show good faith with the Board of Health. So it is, the plumbers are scheduled tomorrow morning at 7:30 to install the hand sink.
So I don't know why Raj would tell you that you needed one if you didn't, but he also said that he wasn't aware that you were actually doing this expansion. So I don't know how things fell through the cracks. But just, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So we just expanded the space with the footprint of the store. We're not doing anything differently than we were doing. We're not making anything upstairs. What we're doing is we make bread and cookies and stuff in my restaurant, and we sell them in the store. We use gloves, bakery paper. We have sanitizer stations right there. But we've been operating this way for 2 years. And in that 2 years, we've had multiple inspections. So it should be grandfathered in where we don't need to add in a hand sink. That's something that should have been done 2 years ago when I had sent emails out saying, what would you require for this? And there was nothing required at that time. So now all of a sudden we expand and they're asking for a hand sink, but it's I'm not really debating it. It's being put in, we're doing it. So it's
okay. I don't know that Raj was here 2 years ago, to be honest with you. Could have been, it could have fallen through the cracks with the last health agent as well. So but
Dr. Ron, if I have the
Yeah,
permission, I want to add
Yeah.
some things, So what he stated is completely wrong. First, the additions was done without any approval from the Board of Health. That should not be done that way. He said he applied for a building permit, and somehow I agree that at the department level, it went through that he got issued a building permit, and that's why I gave him a chance to work on that. That we gave him 30 days time to comply, right?
Yep.
He have written an email that came to me, my boss, town manager, that throughout the whole pandemic, he been serving what we call TCS foods, pastries, without hand wash station, that's very unethical, and he should not be doing that. I mean, he's a chef. He should know serving food without hand washing throughout the pandemic, that's a public health hazard. Because every time he's going to town manager's office of everything, he have very limited communication with our office of whatsoever. He'll go there, and that's why I gave him time to still work with him. And today he appears on this meeting. In his restaurant also, last time we was here, the hand wash station was blocked. His staff was washing hands where they was not should not be washing. So if he's saying that,
Right.
and he's telling everybody that we are picking on him, then that's not the case. He's not following what he should be following. And he should not be expanding. You cannot expand a retail store just because you want.
It's
And he,
this is all slander at this point.
sir, let me finish, please. And the board, if my board members, if you can see right behind where he's sitting, he have pastries there. That's TCS food. He should not be serving that without hand wash station. I mean, I don't know what happened before me, and we have pointed out to him, and we gave him every chance to correct it. And before I left for today, I checked with the building department. They have not pulled any plumbing permit for tomorrow that he's stating that he's going to install that, So I don't know, I thought of keeping this to minimum, the other restaurant, Krukanya, the operations are closed, like they are not even operating. And we gave him everything that we want to work with him, and he's still blaming us for his deficiencies. I don't know what to do at this point.
Can I speak again?
Sure.
So we have an email, and the board, the staff has the email as well. Laura has it, going back to 2021 with Raj talking about what is needed to be able to serve the pastries and stuff up here. Since then, we were issued our license again. We've gone through multiple inspections, never an issue and never anything else asked of us to do what we have been doing now for 2 years. And he wants to bring my restaurant into it. My restaurant's one of the cleanest in town. When they came in to do an inspection, there was a rolling cart in front of the hand wash sink that rolls out of the way that was there temporarily. It took 2 seconds for the staff to move it out of the way. We comply with everything. We follow all the rules in the restaurant. My restaurant is pristine when it comes to anything sanitary, which is not even part of this discussion tonight. The discussion is the expansion up here, which we applied for the permits. Everything was done the way that it was said to have been done, the way that it has been done in the past. And the permits are all reviewed by the community development team, which Raj is a member of. So cannot say that he was not aware of any expansion or anything being done here, because it's been something that's been planned and been in the works for over a year. And we pulled all of the permits the proper way that they were supposed to. The hand sink is being installed tomorrow. I've hired the plumber. I don't pull the permits myself. That's the plumber's job. I know that they have spoken to the plumbing inspector, and I don't pull the permits. So what they're doing with the permits, if they're going tomorrow morning or whatnot, that's their prerogative. But they came in again tonight to check everything, and it is being installed tomorrow.
Sir, there is no
Okay.
communication whatsoever from him to me, that he's doing this expansion. Again, he did apply to the building department, but he should be aware when he's rushing to establishment that anything that he need to do when we have a permit there, he need to inform Board of Health. I mean, there was no communication whatsoever to me about this expansion, and it's a huge expansion, you know. He opened into the space into the cleaning facility that was there. Building commissioner have some concerns about if the cleaning, because there was a cleaning company before, you know, that if it was properly mitigated, the chemicals stored there and all that, you know. And I still gave him a chance to work, you know, but he had very minimal communication with me whatsoever. You know, last time he's there, every time he go to town manager's office and bring them in. You know, I don't know at this point what to do. Every time he came here twice, and he'll go to the town manager's office, and I don't know if he's complaining there or whatever he's doing, but there is no communication with us. You know. And if he's saying the cleanest restaurant, I'm gonna go with the facts. You know, last time Tom was here, he had concerns with the space, hand washing facilities in his restaurant. You know, at this point, if you want, I mean, the board should order him to get it independently reviewed by a consultant. That if he have proper hand wash stations, given the space in his restaurant, we should get it reviewed. You know, because he's debating every time. You know.
So
Very
Ron,
well.
they're also asking me, they would like another hand wash sink put in the kitchen of my restaurant, which is a very small kitchen. The kitchen was approved the way it is in 2018 when I took over. They had requested in 2018 that I add a vegetable prep sink, which I did with no argument or anything. We added the vegetable prep sink. That was all that was requested of us. So if they now would like a second hand prep sink in the kitchen, they can't. Raj cannot request it because they approved it the way it is. It's grandfathered in at this point.
Sir, we have concerns because now, did you tell the board that you bring a pasta cooker that's new that you're trying to install, or you have already installed?
It's not installed. It's sitting there waiting, and it's just a piece of cooking equipment, Raj.
Sir, if you are adding equipment, you know, then we need hand wash facilities there. You cannot be just adding equipment because. And you cannot say it's grandfathered, you know. No, that's not correct. You know?
Yeah, Alan, I don't think there's any grandfathering with regulations. This isn't like an old septic system, you know. It's you know, which is also Board of Health things. But you know, if it was going to be grandfathered, you would still need to have, you know, approval and get that waived. So Raj knows that. Raj knows the regulations. And you know, I would. Well, I don't think you know him to the extent that he knows them. So if you can find regulations that state that you don't need to comply with what he's saying, then I'd like to see them, because I think the rest of the Board of Health would as well. And just because someone else didn't necessarily, you know, think that there was an issue, it doesn't necessarily mean that was right. So if something was overlooked on our part, you know, that's fine. But if it wasn't overlooked at that point, you would have had to spend the money at some point to put that sink in anyway. So, you know, Raj, you know, it has told you that this is what needs to be done. And, you know, I'm assuming that the Board of Health is standing behind that.
From the state as well. So this has already been taken to the state level above Raj's head, so I can have them email you guys, but I'm not discussing with Raj anymore. So it's what he's
okay.
asking.
Well, you need to discuss it with Raj, because he's the health agent for the town of Ashland.
Yep.
So I'm sorry.
I comply with everything that he's asked for with everything, with the exception of the additional hand sink downstairs, which is, and I will have the notice from the state that says that once the kitchen's approved, that they cannot ask to have it changed pending approval again. That's the way.
And did you tell them that you're adding equipment? And did you tell them that the hand wash station was blocked as it's in the report? Did you tell them that your employees on record are washing hands the way they should not be washing? And did you tell them that you expanded into a space without any approval from the Board of Health? I mean, and last thing, we had a power outage Friday. Did you inform Board of Health that you have a power outage? Well, isn't that your duty, and you're putting it in social media that you have power outage and you'll be opening restaurant late? Isn't that your duty that you have signed that if you have any power outages that you should inform Board of Health?
My restaurant doesn't open till 4 o'clock.
It doesn't matter, sir. There was a power outage. Did you inform Board of Health by any chance that?
Oh, and I know that not one single other one of these restaurants around here did either.
We are not talking about other restaurants here, sir. We are talking about your restaurants. Did by any chance, did you inform Board of Health that you have a power outage and you put that in social media that you'll be opening late? Haven't you signed it to the Board of Health that if there is any power issues that you'll report? I mean, I at this point, I'm not getting anything, because did you inform the state that you have written it to us? This is in written communication, it's public record, that during the whole pandemic, you have no hand wash facilities in your provision store whatsoever, and you did okay.
And that's the way you approved it before, Raj.
I was not here, sir, when you
Yes,
talking
you were.
about
The
the
emails
approval.
are to you.
I was not here.
And your staff has them.
This is a fact, sir. We cannot go anything without facts, but I just want to ask you.
The emails to the entire
I just want to
board.
ask you: is it ethical to run a store and handle TCS food without hand wash station during the whole pandemic? Is it fair to public or resident of Ashlands? I just want to ask you this very clearly. Is it fair? You're handling TCS foods that you're not making in that facility. It's a separate business. I'm letting you do that, but you're handling TCS foods without no hand wash stations during the whole pandemic. It's a public health hazard.
The board that showed this conversation before, and we followed exactly what he told us to do. He now is trying to cover for himself and do this. And
I just want to know, when did you open the Doregon Provision Trading Company?
It was opened in 2020.
Yes, I joined Ashland in May of 2021, sir.
Yep, and there's emails to you from me specifically saying, what do you want me to do to be able to serve the pastry and bread?
You want to be sure that that email came to me, you want to be.
And it is. We just all reviewed it again.
You want to be good, Alan, you just cannot say whatever you want to say, and other things, sir. I mean, this is just not fair. You've been allowing pets on your location, in food code totally says that the pets are not allowed in food establishment. I had an incident.
That's allowed unless it's a service dog, and you cannot deny someone an access without a.
That was not a service dog that bit one of your employees. Is there anything on record that it was a service dog?
That was a dog. Someone brought a dog to the outdoor patio, which again, so he's pointing out things that every single restaurant around are doing. There's even guides in Massachusetts, best outdoor patios for dogs at restaurants. After they said, we don't want dogs, we stopped allowing it. But he's now nitpicking over little things.
Nobody's nitpicking, sir.
Okay.
I allowed you maximum I can. I still gave you a chance to comply. This is the first time I'm bringing it in front of the board. I gave you a chance to correct it. Even everything was done without permission, and you're still saying I'm nitpicking. Like it's what public
without permission. I was over in your office about a dozen times.
All right, Alan, we can, obviously there's a disagreement. The bottom line is that if you're not in compliance, you're not in compliance. Raj isn't busting anybody's chops because things are done correctly. So in his judgment, he's the health agent for the town of Ashland. He has to, it's his job to know what the regulations are and then to try to have people comply with them. He's telling you that you need to do this. If you don't want to do this, then the board is going to stand behind whatever Raj says is the right thing to do. So nobody's strong arming you. Nobody's telling you what to do. He's giving you a chance to comply. Forget about excuses back and forth. Either way, you need to do what he's asking you to do. I don't know what else to tell you to do. If you have a lawyer, if you have somebody else from the state and you've been honest with them and you have paperwork, you can present any paperwork you want. If you were granted approval incorrectly by a former health agent, or even if Raj missed it, or if Tom Curran missed it on a previous inspection, it doesn't mean that you don't correct a mistake on a post inspection. So if you're not in compliance, you're not in compliance. So you need to be in compliance to have a permit to deliver food in town, just like any other town. It's a public health service. That's what we do. And Raj is basically the head of it, and he knows what they are. So you need to work with him. He's not here to shut you down, but he has the authority to do that. So far, he hasn't done that. And I can see that there's some animosity. You need to be able to work with people. There's no reason to sit there and argue about it. If you have proper representation and you want to get them involved in it, that's fine. But if not, you need to do what Raj is asking you to do.
I will follow the code. That doesn't mean I'm going to
Okay.
follow what Raj says, but I will follow the code, which is what I always do. The board.
Okay, well, Raj
no.
knows what the code is. If you can prove to him, and then by virtue of proving to him, to the board, that your knowledge of the code of CMR, whatever it is, 411, or, that 50,000 pages in the Mass State Law, Chapter 111 or whatever it is, then you bring it to his attention and he'll bring it to our attention. But if he's correct, which my understanding is that he is, then you need to comply with what he's saying.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Any other members have anything they want to add? Ed, Jay?
Nope, Ron.
No. Bernadette?
No.
No.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Raj is going to keep us updated, on what's going on, and I'm hoping that he doesn't have to bring you in front of the board again. So, but that's his call.
And sir, I mean, I have nothing against him. I tried my best, tonight
I'm sure you don't.
Tonight was just, I want to brief the board because I will forward all the emails communication I have with him. I will send it along. My idea only tonight was just that's why we have not called him in front of the board, just to brief the board what's going on. But I don't know, like things he posts in social media, and stuff, but my intention was just to bring it to board's attention. That's why it was on my agenda, and he came here, so.
Okay. All right. Well, Alan, thank you for, coming to present your version of the events. And, I'm hoping we can work this out, for everybody amicably very soon.
If the board will hear from me in a couple of days.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Raj, moving on to agenda item 8, body art regulations review.
Yes, sir.
Anything on that?
Yes, I almost have the draft ready for you. I was working
Okay.
on that today. Hopefully, in next couple of days, I'll send it along, and then we'll send it to the board members. So that'll be soon.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, Raj. Thanks for
Thank
the
you, sir.
update on everything. I appreciate it. Future agenda items, apparently that's going to include, a septic variance request for January 3rd. So it looks like we're, no rest. We're getting right back into it on January 3rd. And I'm sure there'll be a few other things. Raj, can you put this back on the agenda so that we can at least, discuss it, just to make sure that you're happy with things? Because that's only 2 weeks. The provisions trading company edition, because I want to make sure that we keep up on it. And if you're not, if you're not satisfied with the conditions, you need to let us know.
I will absolutely, sir. Again, today was totally different, and
Okay.
we've been dealing with this. It's not just me, it's Mr.
Right.
Curran too.
Yeah.
I cannot verify it, but he told me there was additions made in his restaurants too, that's
Yeah.
totally without permission, and he was in front of the board in 2018 regarding some matter. I don't know, you might be aware, if the other board members was there,
Jeez,
uh,
I can't even remember, but
there was something with that.
We can look at the minutes.
Right, there was something with the restrooms, that was going on with this establishment, but I mean, we tried our best, and this is my way of functioning, that whatever I can solve at the level, but I don't know at this point what to even say. Friday the power outage, right? Tom Curran called me. I was in office because I was worried about the refrigeration and all that was running around, because the power went off and we wanted to save the vaccines. And Tom Curran called me that Mr. Allen had posted in his social media that he have lost power, that if we have heard anything from him. I was like, negative, we have not heard, but he's posting everything in social media with all his pastries, that he should not be selling these pastries that he's making in one business in the other one. That's not allowed, that's not food code, but it's from one business to other. If you have to process pastries in one business, you have to get a state license, and then sell it in the other business, so, but that we overlook things, right? But I have it in email from him that past 2 years he did no hand washing whatsoever, and he did just fine, but and it's just hard for me at this point, and I have written my response. I'll send it to the board, of the communication, but I'm just, and he don't even talk to me. I mean, anything we ask, he go to the management. I don't know what to even do, so. And I mean, we agreed. He did reply to the building commissioner, and the building commissioner internal communication, he should have informed us, of the changes, and that's why I gave him anything that that he can still get in compliance, but if what he's saying, we have no communication whatsoever, at least not to me, that was going on, and in his restaurant, he's adding equipment, he's doing menu changes that I can send it to board. And that's why Tom Curran have strong feelings, that there is no adequate hand washing in his restaurants, and till now, there was just one hand wash station for the provision store and the restaurant, and it's not adequate, and that's all. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I just wondered if you had, a few of those reports. Was he, informed of that on any of these inspection reports?
Oh yeah, I mean, we have written that, and it was not the restaurant. He was managing it. Now he have opened this space, right? I mean, any renovations he's doing, he have to bring it to the code, and the food code have changed, So, and I don't know. When he opened provision store, it might be when Mr. Mark Oram was leaving Ashland, so I don't know when that store got opened, but I don't know, and then he coming up and saying he's doing fine with it. I mean, I just don't know if it is fair to the residents, that he's doing this without hand washing, like, I mean, it's a public health hazard,
Right. Yeah. I don't.
And everybody, he's telling everybody that we are targeting him. I have 100+ permits, it's not like the other restaurant had the same thing. Is the operations of that part is closed right now, it's,
Right.
and he's still saying we are targeting him and all that. I don't know what to do,
Right,
so.
right. Well, yeah, well, we're here to help you do whatever you need to do, that's for sure. So
Thank you, sir,
I know you know the regulations, and I know Tom does too. He's been working for us for a long time, and he's a good man.
We definitely won't do anything without, like that's not in a regulation, right? Like, I mean,
Of course.
if
right.
if he's selling TCS foods, right, like that he's doing, he should have a 3-base saying everything is not hand wash station to sell those foods. That's in the code.
Right.
I mean, I don't know where he have got this idea that he's grandfathered into everything.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
And hopefully he reach out to state. I mean, hopefully he don't create any more problems for himself,
Right.
reaching out to state, because if DPH is coming, they're gonna put other more things, like, hey, and I don't know, sir, I mean, this was not my intention to bring him in front of the board, but if you want to come himself, what can I do, like.
No, well, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you need to just let us know, what kind of help you need to get him into compliance, and, what your recommendations are.
Absolutely, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else with anything to say? Any future, items? No?
Nope.
Great. Well, I want to wish everybody, Merry Christmas, and, happy holidays, and a healthy, happy New Year. And Laura, thank you as usual for making, you couldn't make what I do easier for, all the time you spend doing, typing everything up, and, making great, synopsises of all the meetings, and you do a great job. And I just wanted to thank you for that. Raj, another good year. Thank you for all your help and everything you do for the town.
Thank you,
And
sir.
to the rest of the board members, Jay, Barbara, Bernadette, Ed, you're busy as hell. Thank you very much for, all your efforts, and everybody contributing to the Board of Health. It's important for the town, and especially with, little issues like this that, really shouldn't be issues. People should, comply with what you're telling them to do, because there's nobody I trust to know the regulations more than you, or previously Mark Oram. But if things slip through the cracks, you got to correct them when you can. Ed, thank you for all your help too, and happy, healthy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, thank you. All right. Everybody good? Anybody want to make the, the final motion, the most important one of every meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Second, okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Raj,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Raj, I
thank
sent
you.
you that
Christmas,
email.
happy
Thank you,
holidays,
sir.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Thanks,
You
Laura.
too.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thanks for all you do,
Bye-bye.
Ron. You do a good job running.
Yeah,
the
thanks,
meetings.
Ron.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Nice to
Okay.
see you, Ed.
Okay,
Good night.
Good night.
bye-bye. Good night.